So welcome back to another episode, and this is a fun one. I was digging around in the closet. I found some real relics from my past, from 1988. Absolutely, 1988. And I couldn't believe it, and it just reminded me of a very, very different time in my life. A time when I didn't have a lot of video games, where if I wanted a game, I would have to wait, months for it. Or I'd have to rent it or borrow it off a friend. I didn't have it the day it came out, and that created something for me. That's created a bit of, it's kind of opened my imagination to doing certain things. Is that, say I wanted a game like Elias. Here's Elias, and this is a game that I played at my friend Swagger's place. And what happened is we went down the road to Save On Foods. There's a big kiosk display. And we saw this there, and he had a Master System. He's the only guy I knew who had a Master System, and he had Wonder Boy, and I was convincing him, I'm like, we gotta rent that game, because I wanted to play it on his Master System. That's how that kind of worked, and so we rented it, and I was playing it, and it really, as I say, opened up my imagination. I really enjoyed the game. I loved everything about it. It's like the Sega's answer to Zelda in a lot of ways. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I love it. And then I left Swagger's place and I didn't have the game anymore. The game was obviously with him and he returned it to the store a couple of days later. But the game remained in my mind and I still wanted to play it, but I didn't have it. So what did I do? Well, I was an artist then. I'm an artist now. And what does anybody do when you want something, you've seen a movie, you're influenced by it in some capacity, you draw it out. And that's what I would do. I would draw my own video games. Yes, I would create my own choose your own adventure books. And I couldn't believe it when I found these. I'm like, holy crap. And you play them with dice. Well, my system that I created, you play it with dice. And look at this little book here. Cost me 69 cents, I think, to buy this little notebook back in '88. And look at this. Isn't this something? Where I recreated the title screen here. And I did it from my memory. Isn't that even more bizarre? I did this from my memory. I didn't have a screenshot of the opening title screen, but I drew it. And then I drew all of the equipment in there. And it's kind of influenced by Zelda because we didn't get too far into the game. And leather boots, and you get a normal candle, and all this kind of stuff. So these are the items that you can find, and so you get past the first page, and it's a little explanation saying, take these boots and this sword, this is what this character is saying, and then, look at this, 1 to 6. Depending on your dice, you get a D6 here, you go page 1 to 2, if you're rolling the first one, 2 to 4 for the next, it's crazy stuff, so it would randomly take you to different places in this little book that I created. And I drew all the monsters myself. And you get into combat. I had a combat system. Yeah, I'd say a green gob attacks on a D6. 1 to 4 hits it. And then you can just it has certain kinds of hit points and stuff like that. So it was a choose your own adventure book that I made for a video game that I played at my friend's house. Isn't that bizarre? I was so blown away to see this, and I never completed the game. I got some artwork in there for some of the characters, but yeah, this opened I couldn't believe it. It's opened up my imagination when I saw it. I was like, wow, what I did without the game was more sometimes interesting than playing the game itself. And my friend Andrew had Bards Tale down the road, and I always wanted to play Bards Tale on my own, but I didn't have a computer to play it on. My parents weren't into that sort of thing. So I created my own Bards Tale. Yeah, this is just wild stuff. So you go along and you get to the first thing here and you say, all you see is trees and no creatures in sight. Roll again. And you'd roll like a D20 and so you roll an 8, so let's say you roll a 5 and you go here. You find a gleaming diamond worth 50 gold pieces. And then you roll again to see where you're going to go next. And it's kind of random encounters and items that you can get. Most of these books I never finished, but I really put the effort in. Look at this. I really put the effort in. Because video games, I didn't have a lot of them. And it's not like saturated like it is now, so I had to make my own video games. And look at all this stuff. This is great. This is really, really good. And this is the one. Actually, the Bards Tale one. I was determined. I really did a lot in here. Oh my god! This must have taken me hours and hours. Look at this. I even have people that you meet and the moods that they're in. So I say I meet somebody, I'll roll, a D10, I roll a 7. This person greets me, they're not angry at me, and I was playing D&D by myself. This is why I like video games so much. I wanted to have that experience. It's so funny now, you can play like Skyrim and have the most ultimate, RPG-esque experience, but back then, this is all I could do. Oh my god, look at this. I haven't looked at it. I didn't realize I finished so much. Now this, I have this little Phantasy Star Online postcard here. This is holding the bookmark for the section that I want to show you guys. This is ridiculous. I can't even. You're gonna laugh at me. I'm laughing at myself, truly. So I played a game, and I guess these are the rules up here that are very terribly written out. But look at this. Here's some game board that I drew. And through rolling and stuff like that, these are the aliens that go on. Can you see this stuff? These are the aliens that go on. And this is the level. This is a game I played in the arcade, Xenophobe, and I'm trying to recreate it in a 2D kind of way here on paper. I guess I must have had my character. I've lost him, but I still have the aliens with the big teeth going on here, and I'd move them through the environment and fight against them, I guess. And I was fascinated that I still had the pieces. This is from 1988. Like, what are the chances of that? That's crazy. So, a lot of fun finding this stuff again. I really had a good time, but it's not over. I found a couple of more things. When I finished Zelda 2, I love the Zelda series, 1 and 2, but when I finished 2, I was always like, oh, I would love a Zelda 3. And this is before A Link to the Past. There was a time before A Link to the Past, and again, I lived in it. I found this. This is crazy. Maps that I drew of a Zelda 3. It was called Zelda 3 Link's Kingdom. Look at this. This is from 1988. And there's a lot of really neat things here. It's called the Jarn region of Hyrule. And obviously there's a graveyard in there, and the Link's castle. And he has his own castle and stuff like that. And then I found this one. Another one that I did. I was really interested in Zelda 3. I was so excited about the next installment in the Zelda series. And I couldn't wait for it. I had to draw it myself. And yeah, there we go. There's Link's castle right there. What an imagination. I had so much free time as a kid. I didn't have an iPhone, I didn't have an iPad, I didn't have a goddamn computer. All I had was paper, some dice, and my imagination, and the desire to play video games. Even though I didn't have video games, I made my own games. Have you guys ever done this? Has anybody out there, I think as old as me, that did crazy things like that? Because either A, you had the time, or you were inspired. And I was inspired. I enjoyed these games so much that I just wanted to draw them out and have them at home in a certain way. It's really wild to find this stuff. When I found it in the closet, I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. I forgot about this. And I have these nearly 28 years later. I still have them. It's awesome. So anyways, guys, until next time.